Hello all, it is Tis. Good day. I hope all are well. Hope all are safe. Yeah, so I'm up early after the meridian, and and my mind is wandering. So I'm kind of like, my mind's like all over the place, and it kind of makes me think of the human anatomy. So it's kind of like with the body and different parts and what it does and all that good stuff. Um, and because my first mind was telekinesis, and so telekinesis is that's pretty much like, oh, you can move things with your mind. Like, okay, we'll say like, okay, you look at a cup and it moves. And I don't know what made me. Well, yeah, I know what made me think about it because the same. It happened to me. Telekinesis happened to me a little bit today, and it's happened before. It's been happening since I was younger, but it'll happen off and on. But then also too, then it'll happen in a way where it's like, okay, where did that come from? And not necessarily who did it, but it just came out of nowhere because it's like I wasn't intending for that to move, but it did, you know, if that makes sense. But yeah, like I said, it'll happen, you know, every now and again. So I'm thinking like with me, the telekinesis is possible, and I'm sure that it's there, but I don't have control over it. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm a moving vehicle, but perhaps the wipers don't work or the blinkers. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but it's there, but like I said, there's no control. And like I said, that made me think of the body, because that's how powerful the mind is. The mind is so powerful, and just the body itself, literally, there's so many chords and parts, and I would say there's like literally a billion things that your body can do. And just it's just really crazy. And this goes from like magnetic field to waters in your body. It just I don't know, if you think about it, it's so mind blowing. And that's what makes it possible for these things to happen. And that explains too why they don't want you to use your mind. Because if you turn on the TV, or if you go to some of these schools, really, they're not really teaching you, things that are to help you grow, or even help your body grow. Hell, do they even do gym class anymore? It's kind of like it's not really focusing on the body anymore. Like, food is trash, drugs and alcohol everywhere, and like I say, flick on the TV, or hell, go to school, you won't really learn much. So it's kind of like, for us to be in like a very powerful body, and to be just limited to devices and uh, low frequencies, then it's something that needs to be suppressed, you see. Because, for instance, like I said, if you have electronics, you're not going to leave electronics in the closet. You're going to plug them up and hopefully get the full use of them, Even some extra stuff, like, okay, you thought that was just a phone or a tablet, but it's actually a tracking device. Like I said, you didn't know that, but you see how they're using the devices to its full potentials, but humans aren't able to use their bodies to the full potential, as far as what the body can actually do, versus what we do every day. Every day we just waste our time, waste away every day. But like I said, if you could be flying and moving things with your eyes, and killing people with your eyes too, that's another thing too. I know I've killed at least 10 people with my eyes. And I'm laughing but very serious. But yeah, like there's a lot. Yeah, trust me, the mind. I don't even want to say it's just the mind, because like I say, the mind is very powerful, but I don't want to give the mind all the credit, because it's like the magnetic fields in your body too. That plays a role too on how you can make things come to you, because it's like we forget that we have magnetics in our body. We have electric body, a water body. It's kind of like, it's when I say it's a jack of all trades, it's pretty interesting to really get to the bottom of it. And I'm thinking, I really want to get to the bottom of just the control of, get to fully know what the hell my body can do, and the mind, versus being, limited to TV and poisonous food and water. Oh, that's another thing too. Speaking of the water, I guess that's the next thing, is to poison the water. I guess a little bit more, because really everyone's water is already tainted, but with the fluoride and the other metals or whatever else they put in it, as for quote unquote cleaning purposes, or whatever reason why it'd be any type of chemicals in water. But I'm guessing that's going to be the next attack. Is, okay, we just something contaminated water or something wrong, or let's just trouble the waters. And water is very important for the human body. You know, well, the human body is, it's pretty watery, so it's you know, so why not tamper with the quote unquote gas? And that's what's happening too, tampering with the gas. Yeah, but yeah, that, I just find that very interesting. I would say too, another thing to where you can kind of zoom in on what's not, and it doesn't really have anything to do with the body, but this is just would be an understanding on, because if people want to get to the bottom of what's really going on, or just seeing that the small print of the picture, look for anything that's not getting press. You know, like, because like I say, if something that's on TV, that's something that they want you to know, or something they want you to be programmed on. You know, so look at what's being advertised versus what's being saying. Okay, yeah, no, never mind that, or that's just crazy. You know, so anything that's crazy or bad, or not advertised, yeah, kind of zoom in on that, because it's like there's a lot of things that's underground or under the table, or you know, in the basement, you know, because it's like the good stuff is not going to be put on the forefront, and if it is, it's going to be real quick, and probably won't be able to find it again later. Yeah, so I would say look for anything that's not getting much press. Yeah, because there's something about that they don't want you to know. Because like I say, you know, if my goal is to program you and keep you suppressed, it's like I have to give you things that's going to feed into that narrative. These are going to be things to program you to do certain things, and these are going to be things to make sure you don't use any of your parts, because that's the point of this program. Yeah, but just, yeah, open your mind too. Like I said, and I say just stay as clear-minded and as pure and detoxed as possible, because that's another thing too. That's how I noticed. Like I said, if I can explain the telekinesis from today. So today I did a foot bath. So with my foot bath, I soaked in Epsom salt, tea tree oil, and then once I soaked it, you know, did the whole foot scrub thing. You know, remove all the dead skin off cuticles, pretty much all the dead skin off the feet. Exfoliate the legs, or at least the chins, you know, in warm water, and then did like maybe a little foot massage each foot, you know, focusing, yeah, just like focusing like on pressure and all that good stuff. So pretty much I felt detox, so to speak, like, you know, at least from the feet. Okay, the feet, you know, felt relieved, and like I say, it was a nice foot bath. And so as I'm, you know, wrapping up everything, and then, you know, getting everything put away for the whole foot bath thing, I noticed it was three Q-tips on the bed, and I looked at the three Q-tips, you know, as far as if I'm gonna reach for them or I just thought of them. But literally the one that was closest to me rolled. It rolled pretty much like it moved. It didn't necessarily like pick up and go, but it rolled. I say it rolled maybe a quarter of an inch, maybe. It didn't go far, but it moved. It definitely moved. So I was just like, oh wow, you know, because like I say, it was just. But for some reason, I literally was only focused on those, because that's what I noticed. So I was focused on a Q-tip, and I thought about it, you know, either like I say, either to reach for it or just to say, hey, that's three Q-tips on the bed. But literally, one of them slightly moved toward me. And I was like, okay. And like I say, things like that happen all the time. Like I say, when I was younger, it'll be something like, let's say like I'm reaching for a cup or something, and something will knock over, or something will move, you know, as I'm moving by, or, you know, as my arm is moving, something will blow over, you know, I'm reaching for a napkin and a cup will tip over, you know. But like I say, it's there, but I just need to get more in tune. Like I say, I don't know, it's kind of like it's a semi, it runs perfectly, but I gotta learn how to drive it, if that makes sense. I don't know. Yeah, like I say, it's definitely there, and it's literally, I'm telling you, it's about energy, and I guess doing it and thinking it too. Because like I know now. I'm telling you, I don't want to say that I only get telekinesis when I get angry, but I know sometimes. I think maybe, I don't even know when this was. This could have been. It was a few months ago. I don't even have the exact timing, but I know it was a few months ago where I got literally rumbling hot, like, you know, because it stemmed from disrespect, so it was pretty much like a disrespectful situation, that pretty much triggered me because it was just like unnecessary, like say disrespectful, and to me, I just don't like violations, So when it comes to disrespect, it doesn't take much to piss me off anyway. But more of the story is that I was literally so rumbling mad to where like, not only was I like, shoot, like if I had anything in my hands, I probably would have dropped it. Cause I was like that, like literally rumbling mad to where like I'm shaking, the ground is shaking, like to the point where like I had it was like two soap bars in my hands. Well, like packs of soap, and I sat those down. Those were sat down on a cart that was flipped over, so it pretty much sat down on a somewhat flat surface. So as I'm having my explosion, out of this public disrespect, like I'm so rumbling high, people were looking in awe, as if I'm crazy, but like I say, it really just stemmed off disrespect. But basically, more story, I was literally so rumbling angry, like I say, I'm shaking the ground and shaking to the point where literally those soap packs that I had sitting on that flipped over cart outside of this grocery store, like the soap literally they hit the ground, like they went from the somewhat flat surface and they was moving too, so I was just like, yeah. So I literally had to wait until I calmed down just to even walk away, because like I was just that rumbling mad. But yeah, but like I said, I don't want to say all it takes to be angry, kind of like Hulk, like his powers only kick in when he gets pissed off, or then he got to rip out his clothes. Like, to me, it's like, no, it's there anyway. But I notice for sure I'll go to a different place when I'm angry. But yeah, I would say yeah, it's definitely there. I mean, I say you can start by clearing the mind. Also, too, with that foot massage, there's a lot of it. Remember I said when I said the body can do like a million things. It's also too with like your organs. Your organs, they have different roles too. Like say like, oh, maybe your heart will help you to float or something. Because like I said, let's say like because I know when you have like certain negative problems, like say, okay, you have a problem of being sad all the time, or you have a problem of being angry, or or you have hatred, whatever it is that you have that's negative, is going to affect one of those organs. Like, oh, okay, well, hatred will affect the heart, anger will affect the liver, you see. So like I say, there's so many different connections with, what goes on in the mind, and that'll definitely trigger the whole body. So I would say it's good to be as detoxed and clear-minded as possible, so you can get those full effects from your organs, Like I say, you'll have the full effect where your body will work for you. And then once you get in tune to what your body can really do, or once you get an open, clear mind, that's calcium free and fluoride free, then you can get, get to where you need to be, or at least get a better understanding, And sometimes some people do the opposite too. They'll think like, okay, well, I'll just do the drugs and alcohol to open my mind. But it's like, and I get it too, because sometimes like you do certain drugs, it will be like, okay, wow, that really did open your mind. Because they did say it was one guy that he was labeled as a crackhead, but or did they just say that as to why he was riding a bike with one of those old fashioned refrigerators on his back, like how he had one literally on his shoulder, but he was riding a bike with one of those big old school refrigerators, and they were like, oh, did that crack give him his superpower strength? But like I said, it could have just blamed it on the crack, and maybe it did help him open his mind, like I say. But even sometimes with cannabis will do that. You'll smoke, like, oh, you'll see things differently. Like, oh, you'll get your epiphanies. But let's say like you do, they have another drug too. I think it's called like MSD or something like that, or MS something, where they said it's supposed to open your mind. Hell, LSD is supposed to open your mind too. You get to seeing shit, but let's say it does open your mind, but that's not something you want to be. You don't want to have to rely on drugs or having to sniff cans in order to, use your abilities, That's kind of just more like an hallucination, or kind of an illusion, Because like I said, the mind is so powerful. You don't get to put the chemicals on top of your mind. Then that'll just be more of a movie playing in your head versus what you can really do, without any extras. Like I say, I mean, because the drugs aren't available, then it's like, well, you're going to be out of gas because you don't have any crack, So it's kind of like you don't want to rely on that stuff anyway, just because you got to keep getting more, But yeah, I'll say, yeah, clear your mind so you can open your mind. I mean, you have to want it too, because some people, they don't really want the truth, or they don't really want the epiphany or the eye openers, which is cool. But it's like if you do absolutely want to know what you just want it and do it. But anyway, all right. But I'll return with a different topic. All right. Hope all are well. Hope all are safe.